DM. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to third edition of STEREOTALK. Today is finally a nice day. So here in Czech Republic we are allowed to go outside. We still have to wear face masks, but well, we can at least be out and not be scared. Everything is getting better now. The coronavirus is slowly disappearing, so hopefully it will happen around the world too. And today I have a special guest here. He's a really great guy, and to me at least, very underrated producer, which I think deserves much more spotlight for his amazing music. He just released an artist album, and he's from Canada, and his name is Somna. So it's my pleasure to welcome him here on our STEREOTALK. There he is. Hey man, how you doing? So what is the time in Canada right now?
It just hit 10 o'clock in the morning, so, yeah.
Oh, and you just woke up? Oh,
yeah.
Man,
I end up working really late and then waking up pretty late as well, too.
So Ben, tell us, why were you working till really late?
Well, actually, I was playing Counter-Strike last night, and then I was working on a remix, so, I guess I was up late because I was playing Counter-Strike before I started to work on the remix I had to do.
I'm playing Mortal Kombat almost every day now.
Oh, are you?
Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you play Mortal Kombat?
I'm not. No, I'm more of a Street Fighter kind of person, but I'm terrible at Mortal Kombat.
So tell me, how is it now in Canada? Like, with the virus and everything, how it looks over there?
I think we've done a pretty good job as a country on like people staying home and isolating and stuff, at least in my province of British Columbia. So Vancouver is like pretty good. I think things are starting to reopen a little bit. I think some of the restaurants and stuff are going to be opening after this coming weekend. And then I think like there'll be a lot of like measures in place for social distancing, but like things are kind of slowly opening. So how are things with you?
Well, over here is the same. I just told everyone before we started that basically over here everything is opening now. We have less and less cases, so hopefully this will disappear very soon. But tell me, so this is going to go away. You said restaurants will open. So what will be the first thing that you do after this is all over?
Well, play badminton for sure, because I play a lot of badminton and I've been missing it for like over a month now. So that's definitely first on my list. And then I don't know. I think because like I'm sure you can relate as well too, but we work in the studio at home all the time. So like aside from not being able to play badminton and do gigs, my life didn't change that much because I work from home anyways. So so not a whole lot has changed. I guess like no more takeout and more sitting in for eating, but for me badminton is yeah.
So tell me, did you put on some weight? Because I surely did. I put on like 3 kilos. Like, man, I have like a huge tumor on my belly right now.
Yeah, man. The beauty of like doing these things is I can angle the camera in a way that doesn't that makes me look like slimmer, but like this this self-quarantine thing like just destroyed like my exercise, like my eating. Like my wife and I went and like bought snacks, like lots of snacks, because we were like, oh, you know what, like maybe we won't be able to go out and buy snacks and stuff. So we bought snacks and we just ate them all like right away.
Oh, don't tell me you did it in one sitting. So you said you play badminton. Do you do it professionally, or is it just a hobby or something you do in your free time?
I play a lot. I wouldn't say I play professionally. I play competitively, but certainly not professionally.
Is it something that really like inspire you to your music, or where you can relax, gather some energy for your new tunes?
I think definitely it breaks up the monotony of working in the studio all the time. And if I didn't have badminton, I'd probably just sit here and get really fat. It's good because if I didn't have it, I think like I would never leave the studio aside from like food and sleep. And I think there needs to be a little bit of activity.
Yeah, I'm lucky I have dogs, so I'm forced to go out. Otherwise, I would probably just sit here all day long,
Yeah.
And nothing really would change. If I get it right, so you do music professionally. You do it for a living, right?
I do, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your story, because, not many music producers can do as you do or I do, that they can just do the music. So tell us, where did you start and how was the whole journey till now?
Well, I started writing music in like 2003-ish, so it's been like a really long time. But I started writing music under a different name. I used to do hard dance, like hard house, as roadie style. So I was part of, there's a label called Tidy Tracks, like old school hard house label out in the UK. So I had a lot of releases on there, and I moved to the UK, and I was doing like a lot of touring. I started Somna in like 2011, so it hasn't been that long. But I guess like when I say like do music professionally full time, there's a lot of like, so I don't just make money from like royalties, and I don't actually do that many gigs. I'd love to do more gigs, but there's like, you know, ghost production, and there's a lot of little things sprinkled here and there, like running the record label, doing design work, mixing and mastering. So it's like when I say music professionally, it also includes all the little random odd jobs that I do, because you know like how money is kind of like this when you work in the music industry. So so saying that I make music like 24/7 may not be completely correct, because there's also things like, you know, running the record label, which involves like design work and admin work and stuff, and that could be classified as like a full-time job as well. So it's kind of like just a plate of many items that are part of the music industry that make a little bit of money here and there, and then as a whole, it's like the that would be like the income. Nice garden or patio.
Yeah, thank you. That's our balcony. For some reason, I don't know how I did that. Sorry, I stopped you there.
No worries.
So you said something about ghost production. So now tell me, like, of course, gigs is probably like the biggest income we music producers and DJs have. So now we don't have any gigs. So what are you doing right now, you know, to be able to pay your rent, to eat food, you know, and like live like a normal person?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I never really did that many gigs, because unlike you, I'm still kind of building my my profile, so I wasn't doing that much touring compared to like my colleagues and stuff. I had actually a bunch coming up because of the album, so like I lost all those, which was kind of sad. But up until that point, my money never really relied on gigs, because I didn't have that many. When I left the hard dance scene, I had a lot when I lived in the UK, but then when I moved back to Canada, I kind of stopped. So as far as income goes, like I lost that income, but it wasn't too bad. Most of my money probably comes from doing like ghost production and like running like Ava recordings and stuff like that. So I wasn't affected too much. So I think like I guess one of the ways that I've been making additional income would be like Twitch, like streaming on Twitch. It's people are really generous on there. They just like give subscriptions out like candy, and donate and stuff, and it's really nice. Like so like that's not like a huge bit of income, but it's a little bit, which is always really appreciated and nice.
That's true. Like I have to say, like people are so nice now. Now, really, I can feel that we are one trance family. Because I'm doing live streams too, and when these donations come in, you know, it's really heartwarming. You know that people send you some money so you can continue doing the music for them. It's absolutely awesome. And man, don't be so humble. You are not up and coming producer or nothing like that, dude. Like your music been really awesome ever since I heard your first track. So come on, and you just released like really amazing album, right? So and you work with like Hallian, Roxanne Emery, Carrie, or even Jennifer Renee. You have 14 songs on the album. So tell me, how is it? How does it feel to release your very first artist album and to work with all these people?
It's awesome. It's scary at the same time, because I think the industry is very singles based. So releasing an album is scary, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of potential to flop, because you know maybe Spotify will only pick up one song to playlist, and then you've got 13 other songs that aren't like streaming that well. But like it's something I've really wanted to do for a while, because it allows me to experiment a little bit, and also just write music and not worry about it having to like bang out in a club, which is always nice, because when you write singles, you want DJs to play it and you want it to sell in Beatport, and so it was nice to do something a little bit different and something I wanted to do for a while. And yeah, I'm really fortunate to work with a lot of those vocalists and stuff. I think I'm lucky to have developed some of these relationships. You know exactly how it feels, I guess, because you've released an album as well
Yeah,
too.
I did.
So
I know how it is.
yeah, it's scary, but it's like it's nice as well too.
As you said, like doing an album these days, it's a pretty long shot, because really, single is out today, and in 7 days there's a bunch of new singles, and your single just gets forgotten a little bit, unless it's like really huge hit. So releasing an album is a big risk. But come on, I had a chance to listen to it on Spotify, and I have to tell you, it's absolutely amazing. Guys, for you watching on YouTube, just check the link right here to listen to Ben's album, and I'm telling you, it's awesome. Well, I was lucky to remix one track, but I won't tell you which one.
Oh, it's so good. You did such a great job. I can't wait for people to hear it.
Oh, thanks, Ben. So, and tell me, like, when I did my album, it took me almost 3 years to finish it up. Oh, so, wow. How long did it take you?
It took just over a year for me to do. I think it flowed pretty quickly. I think because I work with a lot of vocalists, and when you get like a vocal top line, or you write like a piano melody and they write a vocal, once you have that vocal, everything flows really easily. It's almost like remixing in a way sometimes, and you get like a remix and the idea is like solid, and then it flows really naturally. So I think in that sense, when you work with vocalists and songwriters, it makes it easier to write music faster, because you've got like almost like a base of like ideas to work around already. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit easier when you have a great vocal to write a good song, if it's already like there for you.
So do you have that same thing? Like when you hear a great vocal, you immediately can hear a melody just hidden somewhere behind. Yeah, so
definitely, yeah.
Similar to me. So which of these vocalists was the easiest to work with, and which one was the hardest to work with?
That's very interesting. I think like the easiest to work with would probably be Blue Eyes. Because she's like incredibly accomplished as a songwriter and vocalist, and she also has the ability to record and tune her vocals in her own studio in LA. So working with her is always like fast and quick, and I think a lot of trance vocalists usually are thrown into the music industry, and they haven't really been doing it, so they don't know how to do like doubles and triples and harmonies and stuff like that. Whereas like vocalists like Haley and like Blue Eyes, they know it because they've gone to music school, so they know to record like doubles and triples and harmonies, and how to sing it and stuff. And so I think working with her was really quick and easy, and she's super nice. The hardest to work with, and not in a bad way, working with Haley is hard because she's so incredibly particular and professional, that everything has to be absolutely perfect, which is not a bad thing at all. It just means that as a producer, you have to push yourself even harder to make sure that your stuff is good, because you're working with someone that is accustomed to working with like 7 lines and stuff like that. So the bar is pretty high.
But like thumbs up, man. Like that track with Hallian is really incredible. Let's move away from the album for a second. So I know that your wife is also a producer.
She is, yeah.
And she produces some really interesting tracks. How is it in your home? Do you guys like produce together, or do you compete with each other, like who will make the better track, or how is it back home, like if you have a wife also being a producer and a DJ?
No, we have separate studios. So this is my studio. It's a little bit messy, but yeah, this is my studio, and we do share the turntables, the decks and stuff, because those are we share those. She has her own studio, which is like another bedroom. I will do the mixing and the mastering because I've got like a better treated room. Like I've got for people that are tuned in and don't know what my treatment is, I've got the sound absorption in the panels, which you can see. So I'll do the mixing and the mastering, but she has her own studio, and she works on her stuff there, and then sends me the stems, and then I'll do the mixing and the mastering. But we don't really compete. I think our styles are a bit different. I'd say her sound is a bit more underground and maybe classical trance sound, whereas my stuff really borders on commercial trance. But we'll give each other like feedback for sure. Like she's not afraid to tell me if something sounds terrible or if something sounds good, which is good because that need that kind of feedback, and then I'll give her like advice and feedback as well too.
Well, I so with my wife, she has also really great ear for this. So I give her like, you know, it's always good to have this extra set of ears that will tell you, this is horrible, or this sound is too squeaky. Come on, man, what are you doing? You want to burst someone's ears? You are an owner of Ava Recordings. I think it's Andy Moore still the owner of the label, right?
He's the founder, but the two of us, we co-own it together. So it's a 50-50.
Okay. So as a co-owner of the label, you know, some of the guys watching us here on YouTube, they might be producers, and they might wonder, like, what's the best way how to send a demo to a label? So maybe you can give them a little bit like a tip, like what's the best way to send their demos to your label?
Yeah. Okay. So our demo email inbox is demos@avarecordings.com. And we have an A&R. His name is Yang. His real name is Jesse. Hi, Maya from Indonesia. Yeah, he listens. He's like our junior A&R. He'll listen to the like hundreds of demos that we get before it passes over to me to check out. But yeah, demos@avarecordings.com. We are looking for music. I think the best way to describe what we're looking for is music that is going to last the test of time, or sustainable music, because we have released, and like I'm guilty of this as well too, of producing and releasing music that is in trend with what is popular at the moment, because I made stuff that I've not been proud of, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to find is music that is unique and going to last. Like, so that's the hope that we go for. So if you don't worry too much about the style that you're writing, as long as it is like trance, because we're not releasing hip hop, but just I guess try to write music that is going to last, especially now with like no gigs and stuff. Like, you know, now's the best time to experiment and write music that doesn't have to bang out in the club, but will.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I actually noticed people on the live streams enjoy much more when I play more melodic, you know, and vocal stuff, something they can sing along to, you know, and chill.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the listeners is like growing, and then you start playing something banging, and they're like, you know, going down. It's like people really, you know, want to jam a little with the music, you know. Yeah. It's pretty cool to see, you know, this change of what's happening right now with the music. And so you experiment on anything like outside the album now?
I don't, because I just don't have time to. I would like to, because there's a lot of like I used to make like techno under a different alias as well too, and obviously the hard dance stuff. But it's hard to find time, because running a label is it takes up a lot of time, and then streaming is, you know, like you sit down and you're like, I'm gonna do a 2-hour set on Twitch, and then before you know it, you're 6 hours in, and your whole day's gone. So.
You know, and all the preparations and everything, it's just crazy. Like it took me like a week to understand OBS, and then I figured out there's something called Streamlabs OBS. Yeah, that has some bunch of other stuff. So I was learning that for another week. So
I was using Streamlabs, and then Streamlabs started to be really really glitchy for me. So I switched back to regular OBS, but you can actually take the Streamlabs widgets and import them into the regular OBS, which is a lot lighter of a program, less stress on your computer.
Well, I think after this call, you will have to tell me how it's done.
It's easy. I can definitely tell you.
So, and now I think it's a good time to check some of the questions. And somebody here was actually asking, when will you come back to Indonesia?
I've been once to Coliseum, and it was great. And there was talks of me going back there for my album, but obviously with COVID happening, it's going to get postponed. But yeah, I've been asked to like go back to Coliseum at some point. I just don't know when it's going to happen now. You've played at Coliseum before, haven't you?
Yeah, I played in Colossium.
Yeah, it's a
Amazing
crazy club. Yeah,
it is, and people are crazy there too. I love playing in Indonesia. It's like a different world, and I'm a big fan of nasi goreng.
will we see roadie style in Rome soon? I don't know if you'll see roadie style anywhere, to be honest. Aside from maybe the UK, because hard house is just not that popular anymore.
Like, is anybody still listening to hard dance?
In the UK, there's it's a very niche market, and there's definitely there's parties there for that, but it's certainly not like it used to be.
Somebody here is asking if we will do a collab. What do you think about that? It would be interesting, right?
Yeah, I would definitely be down to do that.
Well, actually, right now I have some really crazy ideas that could use someone's hands, to finish it up. So I'll send you something. You'll see. We'll see.
What DAW do you use? Like, what program are you using for?
I'm using Ableton or Logic or FL Studio.
Okay.
I'm a multi-DAW right now.
Are you?
I started teaching people music during this Corona thing.
Oh, nice.
And I was on Ableton, but everybody's using like FL Studio, no Logic. So I said, okay, I probably have to learn all these other things so I can help these people.
Okay.
So, and now I think it's a good time for a very special thing that I do with every guest, and it's called Rapid Questions. So I'll ask you a couple of questions, and you just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. Invisibility or super strength, and why?
That's a good question. I think I'd go for super strength. I feel like that would be more practical and less creepy.
That's okay, man. Now, this one is a very tricky one. Burgers or pizza?
Oh, pizza. I love pizza. And I like pineapple on pizza as well, too.
I love that, too. Don't tell anyone. This is a good one because you're from Canada. Maple syrup or peanut butter?
Maple syrup. I have a sweet tooth, so I like sweet stuff. And peanut butter is great, but I only like peanut butter on certain occasions, I guess.
On a cupcake, maybe.
Or toast, but then that's like maple syrup.
All right, so now this one: dogs or cats?
Cats.
Oh, you're the first one who said cats.
Oh, really?
Okay, first one. Yeah, I don't know if I can give you a point, but yeah, I can give you a point. Come on, everybody has full points in this thingy. Now, if you were really hungry, would you eat a bug?
Would I eat a bug?
If you were really hungry?
I guess depends on what point of hunger I'm at. Like if it's like I'm starving, I haven't eaten for weeks, I'm about to die, I need to eat a bug. Then yeah, I guess it depends on what kind of bug. Like I draw the line with spiders and just super creepy.
Yeah, spiders are awful, but you would eat a bug, right? Like if you're really hungry.
If I was really hungry, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Or if you were in Asia on a street market.
Well, I don't know if I'd be hungry enough to try that. I'm a wuss when it comes to eating really creative stuff.
What's the most useless talent that you have?
Useless talent? Oh, it's a good question, actually. Can you have a useless talent if you don't have that many talents to draw from?
Yeah, it's like when I asked this to Dan Stone, he basically said, "How about the useless talent that I could have?" And he came up with farting melodies, which was a bit crazy. Some people have they can lick their elbows. I can't do that,
No, I can't do it.
It's almost. There is some talent there, so we go with licking elbows.
Licking elbows.
And now, what color is your toothbrush? Still trying. Oh, you're awesome, man. He's gonna do it. Come on. Yeah.
I'm full of muscle or something. No, it just looks like.
It's a film trick, But you did it, man. You did it. It's your first useless talent.
Swear to God, it's so close, but it's so far.
Okay, Just give up, man. No, come on. It's like, it's a useless talent. You don't need it, you know? You don't need to do it. Please promise me you will not now try for like 3 months to lick your elbow and don't do
Next time
anything.
you see me, I'm gonna be like, my neck's gonna be broken.
All right, so what color is your toothbrush?
It's blue. It's blue.
Are you sure you want to go check?
Yeah.
Just in case. And there he goes. And if he's going to bring the toothbrush, this is the best show so far. He's coming. He's coming.
Can confirm it is blue. It's like yellow and stuff.
Are you sure it's not your wife's?
No. If it was, would I do this?
Okay, that makes sense. Even though if it's a wife, we don't do that. That's true.
Yeah.
And last question, man. So, if there's a spider in your house and we already established you don't like spiders, do you kill it or set it free?
We set it free. Like, we have a bug cup and we just go and then slide like a cardboard underneath and then we bring it outside. I used to just kill them, but then my wife is like, let's set them free.
Yeah, they kill all these other little, flies, that are really, really annoying. Somebody here, Ian Solano, is saying that they used to ask girls in their high school if they could touch their elbows behind their back. Lol. Oh, man. I think we came towards the end. This was really great talk. Thank you very much for being my guest and also telling us about yourself and the album, which just came out 4 days ago. Guys, if you would like to listen to Ben's album, just check here on YouTube or basically just Google his album, Somna album, and I think it's called Beside You, right?
It is, yeah.
So, as I was saying, any last words?
No, like, I guess for everyone that has listened and has supported the album, I really appreciate it. It's always tough trying to make your mark in the world with your music, so I really appreciate that everyone has been so receptive to it. And thanks ReOrder for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, guys. So this is it, and big thanks to Ben for joining us today. And if you guys want to see any more guests in the future shows, just message me here on Instagram or Facebook or comment below on YouTube. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.